Hello crypto lovers, today is December 11th, 2025, and the top crypto news is as follows. We start today's episode with our companies, because we're going to Elon Musk's SpaceX, which is transferring Bitcoin as it says it will proceed with an IPO. That is, it will become a public company. Elon Musk's aerospace company, SpaceX, transferred $94 million in Bitcoin according to its on-chain data, as it is increasingly heard that the company will go public within 2026. Let's say that 1,021 BTC was transferred to two wallets, one accepting 407 BTC and the other 614 BTC. Speaking of IPO, as it sounds, nothing is certain. The public listing process could lead the company to raise more than $30 billion at a valuation of $1.5 trillion. As you can imagine, this is probably a record IPO in terms of money it could raise. From SpaceX, we move on to GameStop, which says it can sell BTC, at least according to the headline. That's why its stock has been down. However, GameStop bought Bitcoin in May, spending $512 million. Its stock has gradually fallen 30% since then, from $33 to $23.35, until its financial results for this quarter were announced. Let's say now that the company's Bitcoin treasury has decreased by $9.2 million in the last 3 months, while the company says it remains profitable with a $19.4 million gain on the market. GameStop also added that it did not buy or sell Bitcoin during the third quarter. Now let's say that in terms of selling, their financial records state that it is acceptable to sell BTC as part of their fund management operations. However, what I am telling you is something that is mentioned in every quarterly report. Still, the headline alone has definitely spooked some investors. Continuing on our exchanges, we will refer to Gemini, whose stock rose 14% after it received permission from the CFTC to open a futures market on its platform. As we have said in previous episodes, this is a trend that we see developing. Continuing on our exchanges, we will refer to the new co-CEO of Binance, Ms. Yi He, who was attacked on WeChat and her account was hacked, as you can imagine. The new co-CEO of Binance stated that her WeChat account was attacked. The hackers managed to gain access to an old mobile phone number she had, which allowed them to access her account, showing that Web 2.0 platforms are very vulnerable to such scams. Apparently, the hackers promoted a meme coin called Mubaraka from her account, which of course skyrocketed in price. The hackers are said to have taken $55,000 from this scam, and the account as of this writing has been returned to its owner. Moving on, we're going to go into a video game on the cryptocurrency market, which has been created by the President of the United States himself. It's a video game that will pay out a total of $1 million in Trump's Solana meme coin. The video game is what you see on your screens. It's coming sometime in 2026 as far as I know, and it's essentially a monopoly, which can also give you meme coins from the President of the United States. Now let's say that the coin from this news story wasn't any different. Its price is also red because Bitcoin is also red, and we'll see at the end of the episode why. However, the President of the United States is essentially issuing his own monopoly. For the last part of our day, we're going to go to Ethereum, which, as the CEO of BitMine says, has bottomed out. I didn't explain the reasons as the article says here. However, Mr. Tom Lee, who believes that Ethereum has bottomed out, near $3,000, is backing Ethereum. It's going to do very well because it has the majority of stablecoins on it, and they're very interested in tokenization on its platform, especially the very large companies. So for that reason, they're bullish, as we say, on Ethereum. Moving on to our favorite cryptocurrency market, we'll see that Bitcoin is at $90,000, with the price having re-entered this euro here and not wanting to come out. Now, talking about interest rates, they came out as we would have liked. The Fed came out and cut interest rates by 25 basis points, as we expected, but the crypto market is not happy. And the reason, despite the fact that we know that interest rates will go down, is that in the future, we will not see many interest rate cuts. According to the Fed.plot, it only showed one interest rate cut in 2026 and another one in 2027, while all investors wanted a much bigger and bolder interest rate cut, as you know. So for this reason, I think the crypto market was not very happy because we do not see many interest rate cuts in the future. Let's see what I said. The FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee, dot plot, alternatively called the Fed's dot plot, is a chart that summarizes the FOMC's outlook for the federal funds rate. It is published quarterly, so it's like saying that we can predict, based on the data that the tool has, how many interest rate cuts we're going to see. That data changes, and let me tell you that in 2026, the Fed's Powell will step down, and Trump will put in his own guy, who everyone says will cut interest rates much further and immediately. So of course, course, the statistics of the tool will change, but for now, I think that's what the market didn't like at all. So for that reason, in 48 days, we have a 77% chance of seeing a steady rate at the next Fed meeting, and only a 22% chance of seeing a 0.25 point cut. And in the latest news of the day, let me tell you that Ms. Cathie Wood of ARK Invest is talking about the Bitcoin cycle, the 4th year, which she says will be interrupted. Basically, as Ms. Cathie Wood of ARK Invest says, she predicts that the historical 4th cycle of Bitcoin will be disrupted as institutions invest more and more in Bitcoin and other digital assets. And that's something that we're going to hear more and more about from now on. Since 2020, we've seen more and more institutions come in, and more continue to come in every day. Thus, the cryptocurrency market is slowly starting to move according to their rules. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, May 19th, 2023. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.